I never thought the people who brought me into this world would be the ones to break me the most. My name is Elena, and for 28 years I believed family was supposed to mean safety, that no matter how hard life got, my parents would always have my back. But that illusion shattered the day I discovered they had sold the only thing my grandmother left me, my future, behind my back. Grandma Rose was my everything. She raised me more than my own parents ever did, while Mom and Dad were busy chasing their next big dream that always failed. Grandma was the one who held me when I cried, who taught me how to stand tall. When she passed 2 years ago, she left me her beautiful old Victorian house, the one with the rose garden she loved so much. In her will, she made it very clear the house was mine alone. My safe place, my inheritance, my fresh start after a painful divorce. I trusted my parents to help me handle the legal things while I was still grieving. They said they would take care of the paperwork. They hugged me and told me, "Don't worry, sweetheart. We've got you." What I didn't know was that those hugs were hiding knives. I still remember the moment everything changed. I had driven out to the house on a quiet Sunday afternoon, planning to finally start cleaning out Grandma's things and make it my own. But when I turned onto the familiar street, my heart stopped. There was a bright red sold sign planted in the front yard like a dagger in my chest. I sat in my car, staring at it for what felt like hours, my hands shaking so badly I couldn't even open the door. This couldn't be real. This house was mine. Grandma made sure of it. I called my mother first. My voice was barely a whisper. "Mom, why is there a sold sign on Grandma's house?" There was a long pause. Then she sighed like I was being dramatic. "Elena, honey, we did what was best for the family." Best for the family. Those words hit me harder than any slap ever could. My parents had sold my inheritance, the house that was legally and morally mine, and used the money to pay off their mounting debts and fund my father's latest failing business venture. They never even told me. They forged signatures. They lied to the lawyer. They looked me in the eyes for months and smiled while they destroyed the one thing I had left of my grandmother. The betrayal cut so deep I could barely breathe. I spent weeks in a fog of grief and rage. I would wake up in the middle of the night crying, replaying every conversation. Every time they told me not to worry about the paperwork, I felt so stupid, so broken. How could the two people who were supposed to protect me do something so cruel? I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. I questioned everything I thought I knew about love and family. The pain was so heavy, some days I didn't want to get out of bed. But in that darkness, something slowly began to shift inside me. I remembered the day Grandma gave me the last paper. It was a few months before she passed. She had taken my hand, placed an old yellow envelope in it, and said, "This is your insurance, my love. If anyone ever tries to take what's yours, this will protect you. Promise me you'll keep it safe." At the time, I thought it was just another one of her sentimental things. But when I opened that envelope in my darkest moment, I realized Grandma had been wiser than any of us knew. Inside was a notarized codicil to her will, a legal document that explicitly stated the house could not be sold without my direct written consent. It also included a copy of the trust she had set up with me as the sole beneficiary. My parents had no idea this document existed. That was the moment everything changed. The pain didn't disappear, but it transformed into something sharper, something stronger. I didn't scream. I didn't cry to them. I simply gathered every piece of evidence, hired a sharp lawyer, and began the fight of my life. The confrontation happened in their living room, the same room where I had celebrated birthdays and holidays as a child. I placed the documents on the coffee table and watched their faces drain of color. "You sold my house," I said quietly, my voice steady even though my heart was pounding. But Grandma made sure I had the last paper. "The house is still legally mine. The buyers have been notified. The sale is being reversed." My mother started crying, saying they were desperate, that they only did it because they were drowning in debt. My father couldn't even look at me. For the first time in my life, I saw them as they truly were, flawed, selfish, and scared. The next few months were brutal. There were lawyers, court dates, and painful conversations. But in the end, justice won. The sale was canceled. I got the house back. My parents had to return the money they had already spent, and their reputation in our small town was left in pieces. I stood in Grandma's rose garden the day the keys were officially back in my hands. The flowers were blooming again, just like she always loved, and for the first time in over a year, I felt peace. I won't lie and say the pain disappeared completely. Some betrayals leave scars that never fully fade. But I learned something powerful through all of this. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who choose to protect you, even from beyond the grave. Grandma protected me when my own parents wouldn't, and that last paper she left me didn't. Just saved my house. It saved my dignity and my future. If you're watching this and you've been betrayed by the people closest to you, I want you to hear this. Your pain is real. Your anger is valid, but don't let it destroy you. Somewhere in your darkness, there is a last paper, some truth, some strength, some proof that you are worthy of better. Hold on to it. Fight with it. And one day, you'll stand in your own version of that rose garden, and you'll finally breathe again. This is Elena, and this was my story.